Good morning. So I am making a second video on kefir, whatever you want to call it, because I'm going to let mine rest for a while. So I just poured out my kefir that's fermenting for 24 hours or so, maybe a little less, like 18 hours. It still looks like a milk with a skin on it, and that's okay. And in the jar, it was a little separated, the little liquid in it, and that's fine, like clear liquid. That's totally fine. That's expected. You just mix it back together. So I'm going to do a second ferment on this, but I wanted to show you a couple more things. One of them is, this is how I strain my kefir after the first ferment. These are the grains that are left. So they've grown since I started using them 2 days ago. I only started out with about a tablespoon, and I've got the rest, all of this now. So I'm going to let this rest. So I'm not going to make another batch right now because I have a few bottles that are done, and we need to go through those before I make more. So I'm going to show you how to store it, and then we're going to pour it in for the second ferment. So this is all kefir grains. I don't know if you can see. They're very gelatinous, tapioca, and kind of slimy, but they're firm. They look like they would just dissolve, but they don't. And what you want to do is when you strain your first ferment, you want to press down. You're not going to hurt the grains, but you want to press to get all the solid milk or kefir. Now it's not milk anymore, it's kefir. So you want to get all the solid kefir out, and it will press through the sieve, and the kefir grains will stay on top, and they join together and become a little mass like this. So I'm just going to take these and I'm going to put them in the bottom of a clean jar, and then I'm just going to cover them with milk and store them in the refrigerator. You don't want to let your grains get too warm. The heat will kill them. But if you want to store them and you want to take a break from making kefir, you just take them and put them in a jar, and you pour milk over them. We use raw milk, and you just pour milk over them and give them something to eat while they're in the refrigerator. Their metabolism will slow down a lot in the refrigerator, just like anything else that you're fermenting. It slows when it's in cold, below room temperature. And so we're just going to put a lid on this and keep it in the refrigerator. You can keep it for however long. You can split it and share some with a friend. You can do whatever. People sell them online for $5 to $10, depending on what they think their kefir is worth. I am just going to hold on to it because eventually I want to be able to do a half gallon of milk at a time. And so I'm just going to let them grow, but I'm going to keep them in the refrigerator with a lid on. And that's how you store them. Like I said, you want to check on them and make sure that they're not running out of food, i.e. milk, because if they run out of food, they'll die also. They can die of starvation or they can die of heat. But that's really the only way that you can kill them. So I'm just going to throw a lid on and put them in the fridge. And so this is what I have left of my first ferment. So I'm just going to push the rest of this through. I probably still have some kefir grains there. So this is what remains. So I'm going to throw a little vanilla and some fruit in here. And then I'm going to let it sit again for another 24 hours. We're going to just pour this back into the jar that it came out of for the first ferment. And then this is our second ferment after it's already officially kefir. And today we're going to do pineapple vanilla. So it's going to be sort of reminiscent of a Dole Whip type flavor. So I'm just going to add a chunk of pineapple, maybe 2. And that's really all you need for that. And then I'm just going to add some vanilla, which I'm not really measuring. Vanilla is kind of a flavor, like a to taste kind of thing, I think. And we're just going to mix that up. I should not be using metal, but it's not for very long. It's not going to hurt anything. And then we're just going to let this sit on the mat for another day. I'm just going to cover it with the coffee filter. Put the lid or my fancy mesh lid on it. You could definitely do this with a rubber band. And I'm just going to let it sit for another 24 hours. And that's all you do. And then tomorrow morning, I will have fully flavored second fermented kefir. And what I'll do is I'll pour it into my bowl, and I will immersion blend it with maybe some more fruit. And then your kefir will be done. You can put it in a jar that you're going to drink it out of and put it in the refrigerator. Glass is best for kefir and yogurt. Really, glass is best. Plastic will work, but glass is best if you can do that. And again, you want to keep it away from metal for the most part. And you also don't want to pour it into a hot jar, again, because that will kill the bacteria. And so you just keep it room temperature, and it's that easy. Have a great day.